Good morning. I am out walking just now. I'm trying to do something a little bit different. Obviously, all the other episodes are recorded indoors. I'm walking giant Newfoundland just now in Glastonbury in the UK, and the sun is shining. It's a beautiful clear day, so excuse any background noise, but I was inspired to just connect in the moment rather than taking notes and then preparing an episode later. So this is super raw, and yeah, hopefully it's clear and you can hear me. So what I wanted to talk about today is how to find your niche. We've spoken a lot about integrative health, functional medicine. I put a post in quite a few private groups over the weekend just asking for people to come on the podcast and share their story, because I think hearing from other therapists is going to be super inspiring. And also, everybody trains in so many different things that sometimes you can feel a bit, oh, is my thing good enough? Is their thing better? Is my thing better? And I must have had over 120 to 130 replies. People doing incredible work all over the world. We've got people replied from Canada, Australia, America, lots from the UK. I'm super grateful. So if you have replied and you're listening, thank you, thank you, thank you. What I would say that I got from it, I've obviously reached out to everybody, and hopefully we're going to bring you some really super cool guests over the course of our episodes and stuff. But what I would say is I got from it is that everybody that replied, and I've noticed this with holistic therapists in our industry, they list what it is they do. I'm a soul fragmenter, and I am a Reiki master, and I do massage, I do Pilates. So obviously we have to tell people what we do, but very rarely does that mean anything to the client. A lot of the stuff I'm reading, and I see even in my local community with people advertising, I don't know what half the stuff is. You could be a hairdresser and you've got this new brand that's really cool and you've invested thousands and thousands in it, but does that mean anything to the client? Unless that message is out there, it doesn't mean anything to the client. So today is really about finding your niche, having a think about not what you're trained in. It is important, bear with me, but what it is it's why you started doing this. What was your why? What's your story? I would say 95% of people in our industry have actually probably had discomfort in their life, dis-ease in their life. Perhaps they're going through a spiritual awakening or been through one. Perhaps have had a traumatic childhood and have consider themselves a survivor of that. Perhaps they have cured a disease, a chronic illness. Perhaps they manage the symptoms, or they've had a miraculous healing of tumour reversal, or they've reversed their tooth decay. Everybody in our industry has usually got a story, and it's the story that people want to hear. They don't need lists of, let's just take Pilates. You do Pilates, everybody kind of knows what Pilates is, but what's it actually going to do for me? Like, I know that Pilates, there's lots of Pilates classes in Glastonbury, but what's it going to do? How's it going to make me feel? How's the person going to make me feel? I want to know that person. Why did she actually start a Pilates class? What made her do that? I'm intrigued, I'm interested. That's where we need to be. So my question to you is, what is your story? Where did you start all this? What's your journey been? And as part of your story, you can share, well, I used to work for Lloyds Bank in the UK or JP Morgan or whatever, and then I changed because I had a bit of an epiphany and I had a chronic illness and the stress was killing me, and I got my blood work done and the results were an absolute shocker. So I decided to train in my passion, because I went to Pilates on a Saturday morning and I just thought, this is saving my life. So that's the sort of story. That's what I want to hear as a client and a potential customer. That's what I want to hear. Like, Has she got lived experience? And I think as healers and empaths, we can really sort of play down that side of things, going, who am I to say? Or you're not supposed to share your personal business. This is sort of up there with that era 1 and era 2, that you're not supposed to treat people holistically. You should treat them in a reductionist way. But this is the same. Like, we were trained, you don't share your personal business. Counsellors are not allowed to comment or share personal stories, whereas coaches are. And that's the difference. And obviously there's a place for counselling, and it's incredible, and some people need that. But also some people need the other side of things. And the law of the universe, if we get into sort of physics, quantum physics if you like, the law of the universe is that, and I've forgotten what I'm saying, so that's helpful. Yeah, the law of the universe is that whatever you put out there will come back to you, and resonance happens. So if I am emitting a frequency, but I healed myself from endometriosis, then I'm going to get people who want to heal themselves and believe in what I'm saying, because I'm living proof. And I have proof. I have physical proof. I could show people my doctor file and all the surgeries I've had. I have proof of that. So I'm not just making this up. And people, will believe, because it's the truth and it comes from the throat chakra, it comes from a place of authenticity, that's the highest emotion that there is, then it will cut through people's doubts and it will reach their soul if they are meant to work with me. And that's quite exciting. But if I just go on and go, yes, I'm Sam, I do massage, I do this, I do that, I am trained in past life regression, I'm trained in KCR, what does that mean to them? It means nothing to them. Absolutely nothing. What I need to say is, here's the pain I had, and boy was it a pain. And I see the pain that you've got, and this is how I help myself. Would you like me to help you too? So have a think about what it is you do. The list or the menu and the list of the things that you're trained in is secondary to your why, your story, and that's what creates your niche. Or niche, as they call it, if you're listening from the States, apologise. Britain, it's the niche. And the next thing to do is really have a think about who is it you want to work with. Do you want people that are on the same journey or at the beginning of the journey that you're further along the road on? Do I want to work with people that have just got a diagnosis of endometriosis and are despairing, wondering if they're going to have kids, or if they're going to be faced with lots of surgeries and lots of meds and a whole life of not feeling good enough and all that stuff I went through when I was 18? I can help them. I can be that hand in the dark for people. Do I want to do that? So what is your story? Get a piece of paper and a pen and write it. Journal it, because not only if you journal it, that subconscious mind thing kicks in and it starts to pour out of you. Write your story, and don't be self-deprecating about it. Don't think, oh, who's going to want to hear it, or am I talking about myself too much? I'm making it about me. Obviously, when the client's in front of you, share your story and listen to them, because they're there for you. But they want to know that you resonate. They want to know that you get it, that you understand. It's almost like a lot of people will say, well, why would I go and get my car fixed by somebody that makes milk? You just wouldn't, unless of course that person has got a story that makes sense to you, all about how they fix cars and they did that in a previous life and blah blah blah. So it's that. So yes, this is just a quick one, and I really hope you can hear me. If you can, then I walk dogs as part of a little hobby of mine. Keeps me fit, and I'm trying to lose weight and stuff and keep healthy, and I've got to that sort of, I'm 50 years old, I'm at that sort of menopause stage, so I'm conscious that I'm trying to be healthy. So I walk dogs, and it's a good time for me to think and process ideas for the podcast and Life Heal. So hopefully you hear me. And if this means something to you, and if you're like, oh yeah, I get it, but I just still don't know what to do or to say, then drop me a message. You can private message me, you can comment on the post. Obviously all the links and everything are at the end of the podcast, where you can reach us on Facebook and all the stuff, and message me, and I'm more than happy to have a look over what it is you're putting out there into the world and see it from, I'll be really honest, and see it from a place of, right, okay, well, I'm not clear with what you're putting out there, or yeah, it's super clear, but we could do with more of you in it. So if you feel that that's something you need a hand with, drop me a message. It only takes me about 5 minutes. I can do a little video back to you with some pointers, and yeah, more than happy to help. So I will love you and leave you. Thank you for listening, and hopefully it's given you a little bit of food for thought and the importance of sharing your story with the world, and why, if you're struggling for clients and you're struggling in a world full of where everybody else is just listing what they do on a treatment menu, then this is your answer. We will go through treatment menus later on, different episodes, but hopefully this gives you food for thought.